One of the biggest reasons China became so rich is something that market economists usually hate to admit: capital controls. Most countries allow money to move freely in and out of their borders. If a billionaire wants to move his money from London to New York, Singapore, or Dubai, he can do it tomorrow. China, however, made a different choice. Bringing money into China is relatively easy if you're building factories, investing in business, or financing growth. Getting money out is much harder. Why is this the case? Well, it's based on the simple idea from economics called the impossible trinity. A country can have a stable currency, independent monetary policy, and free movement of capital. But it can only fully have two, and China chose the first two, which meant giving up the third. China's leaders didn't arrive at this conclusion by accident. Back in 1997, they watched the Asian financial crisis devastate economies across Asia, and they came to a simple conclusion. If capital can move freely, countries can lose control of their own economic destiny. Because once capital can leave whenever it wants, governments become dependent on people who control that capital. For example, you want to raise taxes, money leaves. Increase regulation, money leaves. Try a new economic policy, money leaves. You can take a look at political debates across much of the West today to illustrate how this comes out in practice. Before any major economic decision, someone always asks, how will the market react? China looked at that dynamic and decided it wanted the state to remain in charge of capital, not capital in charge of the state. Look, I will attest firsthand, as a biotech investor based here in China, capital controls are the bane of my existence. They make moving money across borders significantly more difficult. But I completely understand why China has this policy. Instead of allowing trillions of dollars in domestic savings to flow into foreign stocks, foreign real estate, and offshore bank accounts, much of that capital has stayed within China. And for foreign businesses, while they can come here and make a healthy profit, much of the money that they make has to be reinvested back into the Chinese economy. Now, where does all that capital go? It's put into domestic Chinese banks, and that capital is what finances China's world-class infrastructure: high-speed rails, ports, factories, and entire cities. Now, whether you agree with this model or not, it has helped create one of the fastest industrial transformations in human history. And the irony is this: for decades, economists told developing countries that prosperity required freeing capital and opening financial markets. China ignored that advice, and over the next 40 years, it became the second largest economy in human history. Not by letting capital control the state, but by making capital serve national development. So, what do you think about China's capital control policy? Let me know in the comments below.